Hey guys, we had that big gap down this morning, and I was unsure how the market was going to open this morning. I was still leaning more to the bullish side initially because of the Apple upgrade. Well, it was basically as an Apple upgrade, thinking we might actually get a continuation bid in Apple out of the gate this morning, and that didn't actually happen. So I'm going to go over my trades. I'm watching Amazon right here, right now. If you go up to your message center up here in the upper right hand corner, I do have a scan running, and every 2 minutes I get updates for the above average volume on options. And just a few minutes ago, Amazon, you you get calls and puts, but it alerted on the interest is changing. So I like having a scan running in the backdrop every 2 minutes. And that gives me an idea how the momentum's changing in the market. But right here, right now, either the dip buyers are coming in, or we are they are uh, stacking up in Amazon for further downside pressure here. That's just one of that was the latest one, but I get those about every 2 minutes on the Toss platform. If you guys want the scan, just leave me a message below with your email, and I can send it to you, or yeah, just leave me a message below, and then I'll give you a link to where I can give you that scan. Okay, on the YouTube video. But I do think Amazon's preparing to take a move lower here. So to start my morning, we had a Visa upgrade, and it was a substantial upgrade. But in this market, all the upgrades they're just blowing them off, and I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. I figured with the upgrade that I'd have less downside risk if the markets were to start selling off. So that's why I took Visa calls initially this morning, and lost some money right off the bat on the trade. I held them for a good while and eventually just chucked them to the wind. Well, wouldn't you know this thing? Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. Wouldn't you know it? And I just ended up chucking them to the wind. We had the all the meetings going on, and what is going on with these charts? Let me go on a different time frame. There, and we did have Trump meeting with all the bank CEOs today. So I thought between the two of them, we might actually get a responsive bid. You saw this move in the after hour session. I thought it would be a supportive bid for Visa with a huge upgrade, or with a nice upgrade this morning, but it didn't, like I said, didn't work out. Um, so that was my first, I lost on that. And then I had an alert right out of the gate on Twitter. There was volume coming into that trade, and I wasn't really for sure. Like I said, I had a bullish bias. It's hard to tell. Basically all that alert does, it just tells you that there's something going on in the shares. Um, I actually traded it for a reversion trade to the upside, and as you saw, it popped up on the side there. About every 2 minutes, I get it, and I actually did the wrong thing. I bet it to the top upside, and once it started breaking down, I took a small loss on that one. I wasn't nearly as bearish as what the markets are proving to be today. But yeah, this would, based on that signal, if I would have done my, just stayed, I had my 21 SMA on the open below it. If I'd have just stayed with the trend, I would have done very well off the alert given to me right out of the gate this morning on the thing. And right now it's a mixed bag. Lift alerting right now. Lyft has been alerting all day, all morning long. That was another one that went off earlier today, um, on the downside. And as you can see, it continues to fade a little bit. With that latest, they might be starting to seek some profits there with that latest alert. It's hard to say. Um, so that gives you some ideas how that alert works and everything. It really does help. See Tesla, Twitter. See. So I had those two trades, and then Arthur, he pointed out Tesla puts in the room. So right up here at range highs, he was getting into the Tesla puts. So I did manage to catch that for a nice little scalp trade, and that offset all my losses for the early morning session. Not really getting anywhere very fast, but it is some of these trades. The room is so helpful and can really help you get out of hot water whenever your bias is proven otherwise, you know. And you just, most mornings I come in and with the right bias, and here lately, but today I was for sure, and it came back and bit me. Another one, I had gotten alert for AMD, and it turned out at the time, uh, I was actually uh, seeing how the markets were performing there, and AMD on the 5 minute here. So this is really nice too on these alerts. The very same time that we got that alert on AMD, hopefully I can zoom in this time and it'll work. Yeah, we tagged the 21 SMA and immediately found responsive buying on that trade. So know your 21 strategy. It was actually confirmed with the toss with that scans alert. I mean, don't get me wrong. The best thing is to have that chart all the way up and your trade ready to go, but because you'd be late to by the alert. But it was kind of a funny to see the high volume coming in there. I'd say a lot of you guys in the T3 room there were stalking AMD, and that's what set that alert off, in my opinion. So, it's kind of amazing some of this stuff that happens. But I actually traded NVIDIA on the alert. I actually the same time frame there, and I actually got the put based off the market internals and stuff, because about the same time frame I thought this thing was breaking down, and it initially went against me, and so I had a real tight stop on that. So my stop, actually, I bought the trade and immediately put a stop in. Boom! It in just a matter of about 4 minutes, it took me out of the trade. So I had a small loss in that, put me negative for the day again. And then I tried BABA for a reversion trade higher. I was getting alert. My alert thing came off right down here, and I saw that I didn't get a fast responsive bid. Whenever I see a really strong sell off on this, like this, and if I cannot get a fast bid within a 5 minute candle, like I want to see a volume spike in the first 5 minute candle on a reversion trade like this, and I wasn't getting that down here initially. So I went ahead and checked that one for break even as well. And in Apple, I was actually watching this one as well. And the second time up, I did try to get this for the breakout. And wouldn't you know it, it came right back into my face. And so I took a small loss on that. And what saved my day, and I'm actually up on the day, and that's surprising. I saw the way things were going, and I saw all the chop. I was actually planning on not even doing anything today. So, but Netflix, and what really alerted me to this one on Netflix, the 1 minute chart, and I do this a lot of times. And what I was seeing on Netflix, let me zoom in here and show you. I was right down here watching this. I saw this little gap up right here. So bottom line is that told me buyers were starting to come into this stock. I bought right on this candle. And I had to take a little bit of pain, but when it took off, it took off. And boy, that was a really nice payout on that. It wiped out all my losses, and I got a nice little profit. Well, basically, I made my weekly go just on this one trade. After I got back all any losses I had today and made enough money on that for what I look for an entire week of trading. So that's it's amazing how fast things can turn. And that's a bullish trade and a horrible tape. But there are trade setups out there to be had, and Netflix is showing relative strength, even into the worst of the markets right here, still showing quite a bit of relative strength. So, but one of the reasons that I actually was zooming in on this was Zoom Video was, which was media, very active today, and that was an addition confirmation in my opinion. The sector showing a lot of interest, and this was right on the volume point of control. This is, if you can find gaps on a volume point of control, daily volume point of control from the day before, that is a good signal for a long setup, uh, especially when we were already at day lows in the session. So it was a combination day lows in the session. This bull signal, and like I said, I had to sit on it a little bit. I started with a half lot, and then when it came down, I doubled down on my positioning, and boy, I really had a really nice trade. Okay, that's everything I gotta say. Like the video if you like it. Make some comments below and stuff. But it's really nice having that little scanner running in the backdrop so you can see what's going on. Bank of America is firing on all cylinders, and they're all calls. So that could signify a bottom in this market when you see the calls firing like that. So keep that in mind going forward. See if I can get this to pull up real quick here. There, look at the pop. So something's going on here. There's a change of character, suggesting a change of character right here, right now on Bank of America. That was the first time all day I've seen Bank of America firing on above average volume. So just something you better really tighten up on your shorts here because they're liable to come in here and tear your head off. Okay, thanks a lot.